the talent exists. The talent needs the backing. The talent needs opportunity, irrespective of the gender you belong to. It's his dream project. So when he came and he shared and he said, this is something I wanted to make like right at the beginning. And Hasni ma'am also told me the same thing. She's like, he's always wanted to make this. I'm like, I'm so privileged and so blessed that, he asked me to be a part of his dream. I think just to begin at that in itself is so fulfilling.
First of all, Aishwarya, it's so lovely to resume our annual date.
I know. That's the way she's labeled it now, the annual date, which is at least set and happening for real.
You look spectacular and tall.
Thank you. Well, yeah.
Amazing. It's amazing. And
good to stand tall, no? What say? Huh? Always.
You always did. You always did. This is your 20th year.
That's what, when you guys were saying that, I realized it's 20 years with L'Oreal.
Yeah.
And 21st year since
But it was 2002, right?
Yeah, so you include the year, right?
Yeah.
So from then to now,
yeah.
it's 21 years since Devdas and 20 years with L'Oreal.
And 2003, you were here on the jury.
I know.
I remember doing a cover story on you for India Today which said Global Goddess.
Oh my gosh, you.
Been championing you. I mean, it was so proud.
You've always been friend, supportive, and all there to support and say, "At a girl to women power," which is so good. Which is so good. I mean, was the mantra then, now, tomorrow, forever.
Absolutely.
It's something we have to do together, right?
Completely.
Absolutely.
Completely. Tell me how 20 years or 21 years now of being here and experiencing this, how has it shaped you as an artist?
Experience is always a good thing, right? We've always maintained, I think whenever we've chatted, we recognize that experience is the best teacher and always contributes to growth, positive progression in any field, in anything that we take on. So as long as the experiences have been positive, it's building to a good place. And I genuinely am so grateful to God that I have nothing to complain about. It's only gratitude, and I'm so thankful for everything that has infused positivity in terms of experience in my life. So I think with that, and I'm a positive person. I've always said be positive is not just a blood group, right? So when if that's the energy you have gravitate towards you, that is something that you naturally radiate out as well. And that kind of has been the process. So it's been all good. Growth for sure. It's not about tabulating it. It's not about necessarily making notes about it. But definitely there's been growth. There's been positive change. And bringing it back to experience is always the best teacher.
Does the experience make that red carpet less daunting? Because you've done it so many times now.
So that's the one thing I think we always exchange, that it is as daunting as you make it out to be. The natural notes that you have to bear in mind will always be there, and it all boils down to sometimes you have to try and make it as comfortable for yourself as you can. So me and Eva were also just sharing and exchanging. She was like, oh, she was very daunted, and I kind of made it quite zen for her.
She said you taught her everything in that first year.
She's being sweet. And it's just about kind of having the Buddhist Zen approach to it all, right? You can't take it that seriously. Yeah, which I've always said.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's about, you're a professional. You're there for a reason. So be the professional. But be calm and be yourself, and you can't take it that seriously. At the same time, you can't be frivolous about it. Yeah. I think it's just, and everybody is such a true professional, right? So that's something that you give to it. There's so many professionals working with you on it.
Of course.
So it's about reciprocating the respect, right? And the work put in by everybody. And that's what you go out there and do. So sometimes you are comfortable, sometimes you make it look comfortable. So you kind of have to work on it.
Yeah.
You work on it and you work it.
Yeah. This year L'Oreal Paris has introduced the Lights on Women Award, which is just fantastic. I mean, it's for a more equitable industry. It's up to 20,000 euros, which is a sizable amount of money. How do you think this will impact the landscape for women?
you said it all in the question already. Firstly, it's fantastic, and I think any kind of support extended to professionals is great. It's interesting that we still have to shed light on the fact that you still need to give that push. You need to focus the light on. You need to kind of and continue to encourage women in the industry, in film, considering film can't do without women.
Of course, absolutely.
Women have always been such an integral part of film. In front of the camera, behind the camera, on the sides, as part of the crew. Everybody, look right here. Look at the women. I wish you could just turn the cameras on and show the women. I mean, you've got women behind the cameras. You've got women working on.
Absolutely.
Here, we've always been a part of the industry. We've always been a part of every aspect of the industry, the writing, the filming, the direction, the crew, the communication, and in front as well, the putting together, the designing, all the creative aspects of film. So for me as a woman, I tend to inhale real deep before I exhale on the fact that, wow, this is what we're doing, because I'm saying, wow, we're still feeling the need to talk about this, and therein bring in these ideas, bring in these opportunities. It's all good, and we need to continue doing it, and in no way am I saying that this should not be happening. Absolutely not. We need to do only more. But the fact is, we still need to do it, and that need aspect needs to gradually kind of fade sooner than later. And I'm using the word gradually because I'm being polite. You need to actually really step on the accelerator like yesterday, where we should not have the need to do this. It should just be a natural part of coexisting, of being in the industry, and encouraging talent for what it is. The talent exists. The talent needs the backing. The talent needs opportunity, irrespective of the gender you belong to. And that will be the day. That will be the day for the true soul-felt hurrah. But on the way to that, and like I keep saying, hopefully at the blink of an eye, we definitely celebrate moments like these, which are doing, where we're all coming together to do so much for each other. And I absolutely applaud the fact that L'Oreal is doing this with Cannes. The two have come together. Look, I'm sure it all began as a festival and a brand, and you come together and you kind of support each other in trying to create this fabulous event, global event where we celebrate cinema. But it's so nice to have your heart and head in the right place, where you come together and say, now let's do something, and let's do something which is so the call of the day. And when you do that together and you encourage women in film, as a woman, I'm proud to be part of that moment, and I'm more than glad to give voice, and my applause and my gratitude that this is happening for the fellow ladies in the business, and God bless and full power.
Well, you're going to be back on screen with Ponniyin Selvan.
Yes.
And your look went viral. What is it like to reunite with your guru Mani Ratnam?
Always special, each and every time. I mean, at the beginning, it was an absolute blessing for the student in me who was just diving right into cinema and getting to work with Mani Ratnam. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better opportunity for someone who was beginning on film and in film. And thereafter, I'm blessed that I've had the opportunity to work with someone like a director and a talent like Mani Ratnam over the years on so many more projects, and memorable films, and great learning experiences for me as a growing artist. And I keep saying growing because you continue to, even now, even tomorrow, with every experience. So I'm blessed that I've got the chance to work with Mani so many times. And now on this, Ponniyin Selvan, I mean, it's his dream project. So when he came and he shared and he said, this is something I wanted to make like right at the beginning. And Hasni ma'am also told me the same thing. She's like, he's always wanted to make this. I'm like, I'm so privileged and so blessed that, he asked me to be a part of his dream. I think just to begin at that in itself is so fulfilling. And then of course the experience has been superlative as always, and you work with a talent like him and the talent that he naturally brings together each and every time in terms of, again, the creative talent, the talent in front of the camera, the one behind, the one around. As an artist, as someone who belongs to film, and I've always said I'm an artist who belongs to film. I love the entire process of filmmaking. I know, I've always told you that. And when you work with that kind of energy, it's just so fulfilling at the end of each working day. You know, you just feel good. You feel
Who is this
good.
woman?
You've been on set.
Can you tell us anything about the character, or are you going to be KG?
It's, I think those who are familiar with
the
literature,
narrative, yeah.
They with you know, with Kalki's work, they kind of are familiar. I think it'll be great to discover. It'll be great to discover her, and I've enjoyed portraying her, and I hope everybody enjoys experiencing the film, of course, and her as well.
So, which brings me, Aishwarya, to the question I ask you every time we meet here, is why don't we see you more often on screen? There's so much exciting work happening, right? And I always wonder, like, is it like you just don't like what they're bringing to you, or are you just at that point where you want to take it easy?
So firstly, I always say thank you for the love. Thank you for your love. Thank you for all your love, because I'm asked this question so often, so I think it's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Absolutely.
So thank you. So no, it's no negative comment on the work coming my way, because to be fair, people have been very, very kind with the kind of work that they've been bringing, very interesting scripts. But I think what also happened the last 2 years was a natural pause that we all took.
Of course.
And at that time, you know, and I've always been someone to keep it real, right? So that is who I am, and that's my sense of prioritizing, and that's who I've always been. So at the time that life has been going through what it has, the world has been going through what it has, it's been really challenging 2 years. My natural instinct is to focus on reality and what's going on, and at that point, I've never been one to play into the expectation of, oh my God, is time flying by, and why is there no release this year, or how many releases do you want to put out, and what is the kind of comment it might attract, or what's the kind of perception it might attract. I've never been one to play into perception. So naturally, when the world and our families and life is experiencing what it is, at that time, and I guess I'm so blessed that I can naturally focus on reality and not be focused on, oh my God, 2 years, and then you're going to have to put in another year of work, and then it's going to be 3-4 years before a film comes out. What's the world going to think? What's the industry going to think? No, that's not been me. That's not been me in good times. It's certainly not going to be me in times like when the world's experiencing COVID. So yes, Ponniyin Selvan began as an idea just before COVID struck the world. And we barely got started on that. So even getting that work done was a huge challenge. And again, I mean, absolute respect to Mani, who has been such an amazing captain to kind of get that going and get it done in the bubbles of work that we managed. And keep it real to the language of cinema that he obviously wanted to narrate his story as. So that in itself was priority, and kind of getting that done, and then prioritizing on life and, you know, being safe. I mean, I do have a kid and a family of a lot of elders. So keeping it real, keeping it safe was priority, and not kind of overwhelming with worrying about all of this. So that's been a natural large window of time. And I think it's professional to approach the possibility of work when you see the world as a safer place and a safer time, to be able to be the committed professional that I am. I don't know to do things half measure. I'm always all in on every aspect of life, and whether it be my personal life, reality, professional, that's the only way I know how to do it. So that's really me and my story, I think, every time. And even right from the beginning, I mean, even as a newcomer, I've always been the proverbial tortoise. Someone who will focus on her work and trudge along at a pace which is right, which is real, which is committed, as opposed to playing into the trimmings. So that's who I've always been, that's who you've known me to be. And that'll be my story, I think, forever and beyond.
Good for you.
Simply.
Lovely to see you, and have a great camp.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you.
You too. God bless. Love you.